Hello, everybody. It is Sunday night, and on Sunday nights, we here at Realm Alternus are going to run another session of Like Clockwork, our Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live stream that is the companion story to the comic book Codsworth's Clockwork Circus. I am the Dungeon Master, Danny, and with us are 4 members of our cast, Sarah, John, Randy, and Alex. And as per usual, before we get into the stream, we do like to see what kind of things are going on with our various cast members and with Realm Alternus. So we're going to start with, I think, Randy.
Hey everybody, I'm Randy Alvarenga. I play Lachlan Dossett. Things going on in my life are I'm changing jobs, so I'm super pumped about that. I get to work remote permanently now, so I'm excited. But beyond that, doing some streams here and there. Just did an Animorph stream yesterday for Suede. That was really fun. So yeah.
Animorph, you have to do air quotes so we don't get sued.
That's right. It is distinctively different from Animorphs, but inspired by. It's a system that lets you play a lot of those like that era game. So it's not all Animorphs.
I was just watching Kimmy Schmidt and Titus is doing Beauty and the Beast, but it's like BEA or BUDY and the BEEST. So I feel like that's what you do.
Yeah.
Animorphs with
just
an
follow
F.
Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you want to know more about cool stuff coming up.
Awesome. We'll move on to Alex and see if Alex has got anything going on in Chicago, land of the bean.
I mean, no, to be honest. Prepping for Thanksgiving, which I am gonna host, and so I've got 5 grocery lists, and I'm gonna forget stuff anyway. So like, I'm already like prepping. All right, so the first time I go, I'll get this set of things, and the second time it's a process, people.
Indeed, process. I am going to just chill for Thanksgiving and rest and have a day off, and it's going to be fantastic. John, what's going on over there on the coast, south of Seattle?
Well, it's cold here, Danny. It's very cold. I don't know what's going on. We had this weird thing a couple weeks ago where we had like a cyclone thing happening like off the coast. Like we just got so much rain. Like there were just lakes everywhere because people don't know how to rake their thingies that collect the rain. So they were just like lakes. So you couldn't walk. It was annoying.
Wait, can I share something? Here in Washington State, there was this like lake that used to exist that they like pumped out so that they could build agriculture. And then that cyclone caused this ancient lake to be reformed. So now the lake is back. Obviously that there is a lot of damage to people's like property and that's sad. But I will say that it's kind of funny that Mother Nature was like, no, I built the lake here for a reason.
It's very much like that, but imagine that outside of your public transit, outside of your streetcar door. I'm very excited because even though we just finished, I don't know when exact last episode will actually post because I can never remember anything. But Brutal Quit Wrestling is in the Realm Alternus podcast, and I don't know how many episodes there are, but we podcasted several. So I hope people are enjoying the podcast. I've started my deep dive into Deadlands Noir and teaching myself Savage World system. I'm very excited to kind of start a new part of my tabletop gaming adventure. And in honor of Turkey Day on Thursday, I would like to quote the great Pugsley Adams. Happy, happy Turkey Day. Hunger pains will go away. When you hear the pilgrims say, it's Happy Turkey Day. Scene.
Yay!
Wow.
Okay. That was beautiful. I feel so inspired by that. Everybody gets an inspiration for their first roll. Good job, John.
Wait, really? Because I'm writing that down.
Yes.
Even though
Done.
does not conform to the Aristotelian unities, I still believe it is a great piece of Americana art.
Not the unities. Bringing it back to playwriting. I love it.
All right. So before we get started then in the game, we will move to Sarah to see if there's any Remtastic stuff that she wants to talk about.
First of all, I'm just really proud of the team for putting together an awesome Streamathon fundraiser for Extra Life yesterday. We raised over $1,000. I'm not sure what the final number was because I went to bed, but I'm really proud of the team because they put it all together without me because they found out it was happening. They brought it to a staff meeting, and I was like, you guys can do it. I got too much happening, and they did. So really proud of them and how they can get things moving without me. So that's the big thing that's happened recently. We are taking some time, some holiday time off of some of our streams this coming week, but we will be here tonight, obviously, and next week. So that's cool. What else is happening? Gearing up for Kickstarter. So lots of
Kickstarter.
Yeah, lots of Kickstarter stuff. So thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully we can count on your support when our Kickstarter for the second issue of the comic book, Coddlesworth's Clockwork Circus, comes to Kickstarter in, I'm hoping, January. And it's for those who are new, it's the world that we are live playing here. So same world, different stories. But if you want more of this awesome, fun world, that's there.
Indeed.
Ooh, thanks, Robert. No Tuesday Shadowrun. I think they're taking Paranormal Albany might be here tomorrow. I can't remember. But then I think Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is off, and then we're back on Saturday with D&D, and Sunday is Clockwork.
So, Danny, I do have a comic book question from Panabon. Panabon's asking in the back of my brain. Is there as much stabbing in the comic as what Panabon does?
There has not yet been as much stabbing as Panabon has stabbed in the comic. But keep in mind that the single issue of the comic takes place over the course of like 4 or 5 hours. So there's still plenty of time for stabbing. And in that 4 to 5 hours, one individual did have his arm melted off. So
that's a party. Yeah.
That's a good time. And there was also some acrobatics and then some neck yanking with a cane. That happened as well.
Panabon is familiar with neck yanking with a cane. Panabon is quite familiar with that, yeah. So
in other news,
we yank you, but yeah.
In other news, except for a cane, I have everything I need for my Governor cosplay. So that's almost ready. I've got
that's one of my favorite stickers from the first Kickstarter, by the way, because I got that as one of my
with the mask and how he's got his mask up yet and everything.
Yeah, it's a party. I haven't decided what I'm going to put it on yet because it's like a precious commodity for me, but like it's there, and I'm just waiting for the right thing.
Yeah, I do have to paint the mask because it is just white right now, but it is a hefty duty mask, and sadly, the top hat does not fit if I'm not wearing the mask. But it goes with the mask, so it's okay. But it does mean that I can't wear the top hat just on its own.
You wear a bandana under it. There's tricks. I can.
I mean, it's way more than a bandana. It's because the mask like sits, like really thick away from the face, and it's like big around. Yes, okay. It's a thing. But
so 2 bandanas. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, 2 bandanas. Yeah, I even got like riding boots so that I'd have like boots with the buckles on them that go up like halfway up my shin and stuff. But yeah, I got it all. I gotta take the top in and get the sleeves pulled in a little bit because it's a little long. And I don't think that the governor would just let his sleeves be all floppy on his hands. But in any case, so that's a good time. And when I have that all set up one day, I'll put it on and get in front of this camera on a Sunday night. It'll be a good time.
That's awesome.
And so with that, I think that's all of our announcements, everything we've got going on. So let's go. It's about that time. All right. So when we left off last week, our group had finally arrived to the city of Gialaludi, and upon pulling their caravan into the market, to this very strange city that seems to be built into a canyon at the delta of the river. And as they were pulling in, they noticed a couple of individuals. They noticed a Shawnee man, and they also noticed a pair of Dragonborn dressed in the robes of the Inquisition, marking them as Dark Claws, specifically. And as they were trying to figure out maybe what was going on, Perunia decided to maybe move up close and get a better view of what was going on. And concerned that this may lead to a situation, Panabon started writing out the words to a hymn that they knew to pass out so they could sing and extol the praises of Melfrun, the deity of the Dragonborn Empire, and specifically that the Dark Claws would worship because they are part of Melfrun's Inquisition.
Yes. So bear in mind that the entire time that we're waiting for the outcome of the punch, you're just hearing in the background, "Oh, and Melfrun scales do gleam mightily, mightily."
And you made completely up. They're not like real hymns at all.
It could be a real hymn. You don't know all of the places in Palakine where people worship.
Yeah, are they not a real hymn? I mean, I feel like Panabon does know the hymns.
It says right on the liner sheet that I'm making up a hymn to Melfrun number 342.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Other hymns, okay.
So
I'm trying to help you. You're the one going around punching Inquisitors. It's not my fault.
I don't know who I punched yet. Okay.
Friend.
Yeah, we don't know.
Punched.
We don't know who's getting punched just yet. That is still up for debate. We'll find out in just one moment. But yes, so there's Panabon writing the hymn, and as Perunia is moving in to check things out, somebody grabs her by the shoulder, and she turns around and just throws her fist. Go ahead.
Yes.
And give me that attack roll.
Just a D20, Danny?
Well, and you get to add your strength bonus. Wow, so that is definitely going to hit. You do not miss with this punch.
I mean, they are very close. So
they did startle Perunia, so
I think Perunia should get sneak attack
fault?
for that. I've got to be honest. I think Perunia should get sneak attack.
No, they snuck up on me.
There is no sneak attack with that. However, you do 4 points of damage to the individual. And as you punch them in their coppery snout and rear back for perhaps another hit, they throw up a hand. Admiral Glavenge, don't. It's me.
Oh, Tim Milford, we prove guilty.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Tiske.
And yes, it is Tiske. And he kind of draws you back because you kind of stepped out from behind the wagon as you did that. And so he just and tries to get you to come back behind the wagon so that you're not necessarily in sight of the other Dark Claw.
I walk backwards with him.
And then he pulls you kind of off to the side. I'm glad I got to you before you went and talked to them. What?
Okay, you snuck up on me, all right? To be clear, I was helping with the caravan. I'm unloading. Remember, I'm working with the caravan. That's why we came out here. And I don't know how you got up here faster, though we did spend some time at an oasis. Anyway, you startled me. That's all.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just glad I got to you before they saw you. They've been waiting for this caravan for weeks, at least as long as I've been here, and I've been here a few days. Airship, by the way, kind of ride with some friends. So, yeah, they don't look happy though. Did something happen on the trip? Is there?
I'm a little shocked. I mean, this has been as vanilla of a trip as you could imagine. I mean, we literally we stopped at an oasis. We came here. There was a guy who was traveling with us who stayed at the oasis, but that was fine. There was some drama at the oasis itself. There was a lodge that got burnt down, but they found the culprits, and that was solved. There was a girl who was missing. She was brought back. Yeah, I'm not really sure. There were some bandits, but like not even clever bandits. So really unexciting.
Make a deception test.
Wait, all of that was true.
All those statements were true. All those statements were true.
You get to make a deception test. You get to make it with advantage.
Okay.
Can I assist in the deception test?
There's already advantage.
That's why I was telling the truth, because I'm not good at deception. All right, let's see. Oh wait, I hit disadvantage, not advantage. Not that roll would have helped me anyway. So
a 3 or a 4.
Okay, but I just wanted said I might sound suspicious, but I'm telling the truth here, Tiske. All right, it was a very, very normal trip.
Okay. He looks at you and kind of nods. Fine. Somebody did not roll very well on their insight.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Somebody has a plus that makes only one result on the D20 make them not succeed against your deception roll.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
And they rolled it.
And they rolled it. Anyway,
yep.
Fine. Do you guys know where you're staying right now?
No,
we just got into town. Well, I mean, we haven't even gotten in yet, as you can see.
And I imagine you haven't been to Gialaludi before.
Okay, rude. Accurate, but rude. I'm well traveled. Okay.
Nobody's saying otherwise. All right. Look, finish up what you're doing here, and afterwards tonight, maybe an hour after sundown, you think you can meet?
Yeah, I don't think I have plans yet. I think that's fine if you want to catch a drink. Sure.
Okay, great. You're not going to like any weird bathhouses or anything like that?
Okay, yeah, maybe that's on the agenda for our trip here, but not necessarily tonight. Why?
Okay.
Is there something wrong with the bathhouses here?
No, there is no. Okay, just usually people who've been on the caravans for a while tend to want to go to just, but
We're
those are
a little
open late
dusty.
anyway.
I mean, yeah.
Right. So, just so, okay, so afterwards, if you want to meet me at Conknefte, it's the Twisted Banner in common,
Okay.
in the trade town. It's a tavern. It's not the nicest, but it's where I'm staying right now. Just trying to keep low profile. So, yeah, I'll see you then. And try not to draw too much attention from those guys. Well, I
can't
lost.
hear you. Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, and Milfroon scales do gleam mightily, for there is no dragon as gleaming as he. Mightily,
there you go.
oh mightily.
Anyway, I walked away saying, wow, that was an awkward encounter to myself, and just like head down other direction. And I will let these guys know just like what happened, and also that we should probably steer clear of whatever's going on. And I go over to Panabot and say, hey, great idea. I don't know if it's working, and maybe we should just, like, I don't know, put our hoods up and, like, be quiet for a couple minutes.
I should have done him 156. I'm a better alto than I am a tenor.
Sure. Sure.
All right.
They particularly said we shouldn't attract attention, or we could not sing and just, like, hang out by the camels.
I'm just trying to be a good convert, considering all the good work you did.
Okay, they can see you.
I mean, can they? I mean, I'm just a gnome, a lowly gnome. Just a lowly gnome. I mean, what would a dragonborn want with a lowly gnome such as myself?
Nothing good is the answer to that question.
Everything is fine. I think we should have moved the camels and leave.
Anyway, I'm going to have Panabon come with me to go unpack the camels, just so I can keep an eye on them.
Okay. Yeah, so you move to do that, and I assume then you pull kind of the hood up. And as you're keeping an eye on things, you see that the man is talking very rapidly to Norsum as well as Oelia, and he seems quite upset with what's going on here, and they're just kind of like, they don't seem to really care too much. One thing about the Inquisition is they are generally not very scary to non-Dragonborn. Despite being known for their skill and their ability to get things done, they tend to be allowed in the various nations under a very, very strict understanding of who it is that they can really mess with. And it's actually very odd to see them kind of flanking this Ashani man as opposed to a Dragonborn Inquisitor.
Oh, I have an idea. Perunia.
What?
Throw me over there, and I'll just, like, eavesdrop. Just, like, toss me.
Okay,
Like,
I just tried to do that, and it did not go well for me.
when did you try to toss me?
No, I mean, like, eavesdrop. I tried to eavesdrop.
I mean, no offense, but you're like Paul and wearing armor. I love you, but sneaking is not something you're good
I'm
at.
still reclining on my camel hump with my book, and I just peek up over the edge of it. Hold on, I have my book. I can do this. And I go, literally can cast invisibility, you idiots.
Do that.
I mean, Panabon is sneaky already. I think casting invisibility might actually be useful.
I feel like casting invisibility on me is a great way to get anything done that you want.
Yeah, I mean, it also leads to problems, I'd imagine. But
we do want to know what they're saying.
And we all just look at each other. Aegis is like, I do not think this is a good idea. Maybe Panabon can
I'm
do it.
batting my eyelashes like Sebastian in the Little Mermaid scene, where he's like, you have to pucker your lips like this. So I'm like batting my eyelashes. My charisma and charm.
It's definitely making it worse, but yes, if you could cast the thing, Shaylun, that'd be great.
I go ahead and lower my spellbook and do my scribble and words to fade or reflect light from around Panabon, and then I say, "Be good."
Yes.
Be good.
Behave.
We can hear them giggling, even though they're invisible right now.
Probably so.
It's very disconcerting.
You hear Panabon like just inhale and then silence.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they're giggling.
All right. We'll see how much we regret this in a few minutes.
At least Pandabon's not doing like the Pandabon Pink Panther theme song to themselves, because sometimes they do that when sneaking. So we're not doing that. Like, we know better than that. But Pandabon's just gonna tiptoe over and like just kind of stand behind Ogelia, because Ogelia doesn't really seem to move, which is useful for eavesdropping. So just like behind her, just off to the side of, so that there's good eavesdropping.
Yeah. Well. Okay. She tends not to move too much. She's generally just keeping an eye out and scanning everything. And despite that, though, she does not see you. Go ahead and make a stealth check to see if anyone hears you.
I am actually being quiet. I know better. But here is a stealth check. Please
And
be
this
good
is
to me,
with
stealth.
advantage.
Oh. Please be good to me, stealth with advantage.
That's pretty good. Okay.
That's so much more quiet than I was.
Yeah, in fact, you're not sure that Panabon has left. Like,
You're still
like,
talking and giving instructions.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
The little hairs on like everyone's arms are just like at noon position right now. Just like, what is good? Just like somebody's probably envisioning like stabbing happening, just like invisible stabbing.
Oh, that person will be me. That's for dang sure. I'd imagine Panabon is doing crazy stuff, but
I've stopped listening for the sound of Panabon and started listening for the cries of people being stabbed.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Remember,
So-
you wanted this Perudia.
I know.
Unfortunately for Panabon, the two people that are involved in this conversation are both Ashani, and that's what they are speaking. Loudly and quickly.
Oh,
Back
I
and
could have
forth to each other.
understood that one.
oh, sad times. I don't speak Ashani.
It's true. You
But
don't.
I do speak disgruntled body language because
They
I do
can't
love
see you.
But I can see them. They're not invisible. I can see them. The body language is everything, you know.
It's true.
Go ahead and make an insight check, though.
Okay. Please, insight check, be good to me. I want to be useful today. Oh, my insight is
Danny
plus one.
did give you an inspiration for your hymn too, don't forget.
Well, that was
I
that inspiration went to the stealth. It was for the first roll. But the
yeah.
17 is pretty good anyway. And they obviously this fellow is asking about something or someone from the caravan. Nordstrom is basically trying to explain that thing or person is not with them. And that and finally kind of points in a direction. They all look in that direction, and you see them pointing towards Zivid and the 3 camels that Zivid has, which
You should have killed him, guys.
4 camels
Loose
that
ends.
Zivid has. Rather.
No, no. Don't
Is that what you're getting out of this?
Yeah, that's what I got out of that.
Pandabon was going to do that like twice, okay, and got.
I am
stopped
Zivid's protector. I'm not letting us kill Zivid. Sorry, guys.
But you see them-
time, I was going to tell him to run away. I was going to stab him.
So they point in Zivid's direction, and then they continue talking for a little bit longer. And then you see the guy kind of turn to one of the Dragonborn. There is a stockier brass Dragonborn and a slimmer silver Dragonborn, and says to them in Draconic, rather, go and speak with the gnome, see if he can tell us what happened to. And then you realize you understand the name Uzenda.
Zenda.
Oh, great. I'm going to run to Zivid. Like, still complete. How long does invisibility last?
It lasts quite some time. If
Yeah.
you are going to run to Zivid, go ahead and make a stealth check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Do keep in mind that because you're invisible, any attempts to see you through any perception is also a disadvantage. So it's not
Right.
as horrible as it
Okay.
sounds.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, my team friend.
Okay, well, hopefully don't sing that. Damn.
Okay.
I mean, 8's still not like the worst. Ooh.
All right. That's not what it's supposed to do. That's weird. That's a strange thing that happened. All right. So as you turn and dash away, the Ogelia kind of turns and then just turns back to the individuals. Doesn't say anything. You quickly arrive to where Zivid is preparing to take all of the barding off of one of the camels.
Civet.
Hey!
Cool. Be chill. Be chill.
Where are you?
I'm invisible. That's not important right now. Be chill. Be chill. I'm invisible. It's something I can do. Don't worry about it. Look, if you have anything incriminating on you right now, like hide it under a camel or something, you're about to get like. They're about to come and talk to you about Uzenda. Be chill. Be cool. Just be cool.
Who's it?
Just like a couple of big scary dragons. Don't worry about it. Just be cool. Just center yourself.
Incriminating? Like,
I don't know. Do you have anything incriminating?
He looks at all four of the camels.
Like,
He brought all the camels?
Can you let them go?
Why did he bring all the camels?
Because they're living creatures.
Oh my god, he could have left them at the Oasis.
He could have sold them at the Oasis.
There was stuff on them, and that he was going to bring them and sell the stuff.
Yeah.
Why did we not check in with him, you guys? This is all on us. So
I don't disagree. I think this is the right move. Here's the thing. Uzenda and them are doing something else. He showed them an ancient ruin. Maybe they're preparing it for other people to go and see it. He doesn't need to tell them all of that. He just needs to say, they said, hey, our part of this mission is done. And I'm now taking care of these things. Locks did not say that. Randy, the player, said that. All of that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a very good plan. Let's see if he thinks of it.
Just pretend. They don't think gnomes are awesome. Okay, just pretend like you don't know anything. Just be like,
you're making him scared.
It's fine.
So the Dragonborn finally kind of gets there and is you gnome, and Civet turns. Yes, I didn't do anything.
We're not gonna die. That was from John, not from John.
The Dragonborn asks where he got the camels, and Civet's just. What they I got from the Oasis. We stopped at the Oasis, and and then after we left it, I have them. Where is the owners of these camels? They had to go to the bathroom.
Oh god.
Now. The Dark Claw looks over at the other camels, back to Zivid, and then just walks straight to the one that would have been Uzenda's and opens up one of the saddlebags. Hey, that you should. The Dragonborn glowers at him, and he just kind of stops talking.
Panabon is doing everything in their power to not just like stab somebody. Like being quiet and still is really starting to get to Panabon. But Panabon's like, not the time, not the moment. Soon and very soon though. Just like also just like lightly tapping on Zivid's back, being like, I'm here. I'm invisible and I have a knife. Everything will be great. Just like a buddy tap.
As you do that, you do see Ogelia hobbling over, and she just, "What are you doing?" to the Dragonborn, and he kind of turns and looks at her. "That's not your merchandise. Hands off." He ignores her a moment and starts to go back through the bag, and she just takes her spear and just smacks him in the back of the head with the butt end. He turns around, ready to engage. And at that point, just about every combat-capable member of the caravan kind of stops what they're doing, and that kind of includes like some of you guys, because there you are. And he thinks better of it. And Ogelia says, "The owners did not return to the oasis. The camels belong to the gnome."
Yeah, partner. They do. And Lachlan sort of walks up, just sort of next to it.
That thing where you got your hand on resting on the hilt of your pistol.
I mean, it's Zivid. I have to stick up for my friend.
I'd like to try something too, as I'm watching from a distance. I have my wizardly quill. So I create a tiny quill in my free hand. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind. I thought it was like a floating quill, because I was gonna like Harry Potter style write on Zivid's skin to be like, "Say this." Oh well. I mean, I could mage hand it over there, but that would be obvious.
You can mage hand that, but like then there's a mage hand flying around.
Panabon can say it with stabbing pretty easily.
Yeah, no, Lots just hits the, you know how when you watch TV shows and there's that one guy in the bar that's like, "Are you trying to cause trouble?" That's Lots right now.
The Dragonborn just turns away from the saddlebags, gives a meaningful glance to Zivid, and then walks back to the other two individuals that he was with, and they kind of all give a look in Zivid's direction as well as Ogelia, and then they turn and walk back into the city, just kind of into the crowd outside of the caravan easement. I guess it's the word for it.
I'll slide off my camel hump, and walk on over and go, "Zivid, you're gonna need to stick with us. They'll be back to look for you." Maybe we could talk about that. Maybe there's some science that we can look into regarding helping you speak with confidence, let's say.
I already gave him an herb for that.
Yeah, no, you're done with the herbs.
You almost killed him. You almost killed him with that herb.
I resist the urge to pat my satchel from the, like, let me see. Oh, interesting. Pockets it. Also, you're mad at me still, even though you're not mad at me. I forgot about that.
It's probably best for me to stay with you guys still for at least a couple of days. It seems. So I will do that. Yes.
I mean, you can crash in the room that we buy, and I sort of look back. Aegis isn't paying attention, and I say, "Yeah, I'm sure there's enough space for that."
I think it would be helpful too, when we get to where we're going, to unload the camels and go through the items to see if there's anything dangerous or anything like, if it's something that they can just have, fine. But if it's something that we all know what Uzenda was trying to do, so it's probably not a nice thing that the guy's looking for. Maybe it's the glove. I just look around as I said that out loud, realizing glove.
Ooh, Zivid. What you need is a code name.
How come I can't see you?
Lots is also very confused for a second because he knows that you were invisible but didn't know you were right here. So he's like,
Can't see
"Whoa!"
me because I choose not to be seen.
I-
And then I
it's-
get off and I scamper away.
I drop the spell as he's saying that.
As they say it, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
Scamper away.
As they're like skipping,
what
it
I
comes
do.
off.
I choose not to be seen as like they come into view.
and now I choose to be seen.
Now I choose to be seen again. I hate to rob the world of my beauty. That's part of my D&D Beyond like character sheet too.
Yeah.
You don't want to rob the world of beauty.
All right. So with that, you I guess help with the camels, with Zivid's camels, get them mostly unloaded and grab most of the satchels that carry any goods from them. And A just heads over to talk to Norsum and Ogelia. You see that there is an exchange of gold.
Sweet.
It appears that A just made good on his plan to either just all or nothing across the desert, but does get paid. They actually clasp hands, which is a little bit odd, maybe given its ages, but also if it would be an expected sort of social nicety, that's something he would do. So,
Danny, as Aegis is walking away, what does he say? And I would love to see your impression of Aegis.
he says Tido and then walks away.
But how does, like, if you were Aegis, how would you do that? Sorry.
We want the impression, Danny.
He says Tido, and then he turns stiffly and stiffly walks away.
It's pretty good.
Can I do?
And how are the camels reacting to this?
Mostly the camels are just standing there like, I mean, you're taking the saddlebags off of them. They're lightening their loads. They're thirsty. They're going to go get a drink. It's.
As things are being unloaded, can I do a perception test on the marketplace, kind of for unsavory characters or how many people are here? Just like a scanning, looking for people with malintent, as are wont in some marketplaces.
Go ahead and make a perception test. General perception test, I guess.
Oh.
While he's doing that, while they're doing that, can I do a perception test to see sort of what direction our Dragonborn friends, and by friends I do big air quotes, go off in?
You can try to see which.
Yeah, I want to watch as much as I can as we're like doing stuff, just because trying to get my bearings of this new place anyway, and I don't trust those guys.
Nobody expects the Dragonborn Inquisition.
You see that they've headed deeper into the marketplace. Without following them, you can't see where they go much beyond that, but you do note the direction that they've traveled, and you can tuck that information away later to see, like, maybe if there's something in that direction that you can kind of get a beat on.
That's exactly my thought.
Danny, I want to ask Nuwayne, where's a good place to stay in town?
Twisted Banner.
Okay, no, I'm not staying at the same place Discay's staying, all right? That's not happening.
I could not tell you the best places, but I do believe they're down on the lower levels.
Okay, the best place is for people like my friends and I. So
yes.
not the nicest.
Even so, I would suggest not on the upper levels, but maybe go down a level or two. I, however, perhaps can see about some space at the lodge.
I think that would be a great option.
Yes. So I will go then and speak to the lodge master, and then I'll try to find you sometime tonight. Where will you be? Where can I find you?
Well, the only name of a place that I have right now is the Twisted Banner, so we will be for dinner at the Twisted Banner.
Very good. I will come back and speak to you then. And if not, I will find somebody who knows and can direct us to something that you can use.
Thank you.
And then she turns and heads off into the marketplace and eventually disappears into the crowd.
I'm annoyed that we're now having dinner at the same place he's staying. But I didn't know any other places to name, so there we go.
I mean, you never know where those flaming embers may begin to burn. So
I've got plenty of films from Milford if you'd like them.
I can see what's happening.
Oh boy.
They don't have a clue.
What's happening right now? I don't understand.
These guys want to join a boy band. It's fine.
Oh. Okay. Well, we should probably take there's a place we can put all this stuff down for a few hours. We should do that. Yeah. He grabbed a couple of the bags.
Sell those camels like post haste.
I think that it's less the camels and the stuff that's in the bags, especially those bags,
or the stuff that's not in the bags anymore.
I want to check the bags.
Yeah, I'm focused on that too, and I want to.
Are we in a private brace yet, though?
No, but as we're unloading them, I like if we're getting a room and then starting to transport stuff to and from, that's when I want to do it, and I want to have my identify on so that as I'm touching things, I can read them.
And I go over to Shaylin and I just kind of whisper in Shaylin's ear, "It might be after the books."
The books or the glove itself, it's possible Uzendo was getting that to sell it or to give to someone else.
It's true.
The glove,
they don't
yes,
know about the glove. Is the glove in the books? We can talk about it.
I think we're talking a lot about things that we should be careful about talking about in this.
That's
this
true.
It's fine. We're probably being overheard by the Thieving Guild anyways. It's fine.
No, let's find a place to talk about it. I agree, Shaylin, that's a good idea, but
you guys, I got a lead on staying at the lodge, which might be the safest place for us, especially if somebody tries to come for Zivid. Guess what? They're not going to get through all the orcs, and their idea of justice isn't going to go along with the Dragonborn's Inquisition, so it's probably the safest place for Zivid.
You know if the orcs in Giolati like daggers?
They're more like larger weapons, but like, yeah, I mean, they're not above having extra protection on their bodies.
Oh, that'll be fun. I like that. Let's do that. I vote for that.
So my point was, I don't think we have a room yet, Shaylun.
Let's go find a room, is what you're saying.
Well, I said I would meet her at the Twisted Banner, and she would let us know if we get a room there, or she would recommend a place. So I figured, let's go get dinner. If we need a place to, throw our stuff for a little while.
Shaylun, you must have used that nope spell on yourself.
Yeah, I must have used that nope spell on me. As you guys are talking about this, I kind of slow turn to Panabon and go, it's been a while since we've had a conversation about personal growth. Maybe it's time to revisit that because you were getting better and now we're in a city, there's a lot of people, and all the stabbing talk is coming back. I thought we were through this, so let's
in the
talk.
desert, there's just less people to stab per capita, really. I mean, this is like stabbing in a sense of like sparring. This isn't like stabbing like I'm gonna kill somebody.
Oh,
Like,
they
this
have
is
the
like-
arenas
Oh, no.
normally.
Yes, but I do not believe that stabbing is necessarily the best course of action here.
I mean,
Just
but,
right there.
but you told me I had to like do exercises for Nipue, or like I inferred that. So like, I can't change who I am.
The little
That
gnome
was-
is right. He
that
cannot
was
change who
perfect,
they are.
Aegis.
I'm having too much fun.
Indeed. Zibid says again that there's a place to put everything for now until you have something a little more permanent, and that you can kind of move all the stuff there. And in the time it takes you to do all of that, it is going to get on to about late afternoon. And checking Uzenda's bags, there are some items in there, and there is one. If you're trying to identify everything, or you're trying to detect magic first, or
No, just identify, because I don't think I even have detect magic. Aegis does.
Okay. Yeah. So there's there's definitely an aura in there, and so you will be able to set up a moment. He gets the aura, and so you'll be able to set up a moment to determine what the item is, and after all of that is kind of put away and everything is as safe as it's going to be for the moment, we're going to take a 10-minute break.
All right. Thanks,
Take your time.
everyone. We'll be back.
Hello, everybody, and we are back. As the group is heading towards the Twisted Banner, amongst the items, there was one that was showing some magical energy, and Shaylin was able to identify it. And what did she tell the group about what she found?
I probably would have told Lox and Aegis, since they were the ones kind of helping me unload and look at stuff. So it's a little yellow gemstone, and when we break it, it will summon some kind of force of the earth, the spirit of the earth, to help us fight, or whatever the case may be. So I actually I actually, once I explain that, I say, I think this should maybe go to Perunia. It's an opportunity to use a magic item for someone who doesn't have a lot of magic.
I like the train of thought there, but, and let me just say this, I don't think Perunia necessarily lacks the magic. That's just what I've gathered.
If she doesn't want it, all right, but if she wants to be able to use something magic,
All right,
especially if
we
we
can
fight
ask.
something that is magic that she can't seem to, sometimes she doesn't hurt something very much.
Yes, I agree, but I would be very careful being around Perunia and saying that she can't follow by any sentence. So, yes, when we go, we can say, hey, we thought this could be useful, not quite as good as you, but might be able to assist in a situation, and then maybe it'll get used. But yeah, I don't know.
All right. That's the only magic item I've found, and I doubt that's something that this guy is looking for, because you could hire someone to make this who has powers. So, yeah, it's probably
here's the thing. Miss Shayloon, there is something mighty strange that this whole situation has got me thinking about. You see, if the Inquisitors, and I don't know much about Inquisitors from Palacune, but they seem awfully invested in whatever Uzinda was doing, and that's got me feeling like there might be bigger people trying to move a couple pieces across the board. If you catch my drift.
I think you're right. I think this has everything to do with the glove, and I think that Uzenda wanted to use it, or someone he works for wanted to use it in some way to hurt people or control people. I look kind of across the way at Panabon and go, we've gotten wrapped up in other things that were about bigger things than us, but nobody knows we have it. So
right. No one knows that we have it. I tell. I think you should probably talk to Panabon and talk about being a little bit more discreet with that glove that they're using.
I have it.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Oh, you mean his
little magic glove,
bracer?
because that's also new, and I don't want people to think that they see that and automatically think it's this glove. Because no one, I mean, Uzinda was looking for something special, right? If people don't know that, we show up with this magic bracer, and that could be misconstrued. Whatever it is, we just want to be.
I mean, magic items are always valuable, so there's always risk of someone wanting it, but a bracer doesn't have fingers, let alone giant scary clawed fingers, that it's going to be really hard to mistake it for the glove. So I think as long as Panabon doesn't run around going, look what my bracer can do, I think we'll be all right.
I'll assure you that won't happen.
Absolutely not sure at all.
The point, real quick, is that the bracer does very definitely have draconic markings on it as well. So,
I do speak Draconic, so I guess I would have noticed that. But I still don't think it's like, okay, so it's something that belonged at some point to a Dragonborn or was created by a Dragonborn.
I guess this is me, Randy, the player, timeout, just saying. I remember someone brought up that, hey, you didn't have that bracer, and now all of a sudden you're throwing things from a bracer. That's really just like interesting.
They noticed the bracer.
That was
that person, yeah. But I'm saying like they also realized that I
think it was Ogalia.
Yeah. It was Ogalia.
So the discovery of having the bracer fire the dagger. The bracer's always been there.
Right.
The bracer's always been there, but shooting the dagger from the bracer is new.
Was new.
Ogalia also just
people are just noticing things that are more carefully. Like I don't know. It's just interesting. I think you're right. I think you're right, Sarah.
Yeah, so, and I don't think either that like Ogalia clearly was covering helped Ziv it out. So I think Ogalia's like good intentions, but it's definitely something to watch out for. And no, like if Panabon is a goddamn wild card, so we don't know what Panabon will or won't do. But I kind of back in character to be honest. All of these lessons have been given, and now it's up to Panabon. If Panabon gets themselves into trouble because of Panabon's actions, we'd like to avoid that if possible, but we can't blame ourselves for it.
I mean, I think you're right. All right, let's head over to Perunia and head to this Twisty Knife or Knife Banner or Twisted Banner or whatever this place is called. I do know the name of it, Danny. My character wouldn't.
Go to the Twisted Knife.
The Oste Cognesta.
I'd like to know about the lighting situation in Gelati. You said there was a lot of light coming into the city. So what does the light look as like? Is it all gas, electric, copper, whatever the light equivalent is in the steampunk society? Is there a lot of lamplight? So there's like no shadows. Like, can you tell the difference between day and night, kind of thing? Like what is observable?
Okay, so as you are entering into the city itself and are moving from the top layer where the sun is beating down during the day, into like the first couple of layers below. You can definitely tell the difference between day and night here. I mean, it's like being on the ground level of a city, where all the buildings are 2 to 3 stories tall, right? And as you go deeper down, it's like you're nestled in and amongst taller buildings. At the very, very bottom during the day, it's probably fairly dim, but not so dark as to mistake it as being night. That said, if there were no lighting, then at nighttime it would be, almost impossible to see at that depth. We're talking probably up to 200 feet from the top to the bottom at like some of the higher points, and maybe even more than that in some spots. And the further down you go, the more artificial lighting there is. And this city has a strange, whenever we think of cities that are layered like this, we often think of, and this is just kind of like a meta thing, we often think of like the lower levels as being the worse off, right? And the higher levels being nicer. Well, in this case, it's kind of flipped. A lot of the work happens near the surface. And then to kind of escape the heat of the sun during the day, the wealthier people kind of live more further down several levels. And so it gets, the lighting is present. It's not oppressive in terms of, if you're asking, like, is it so well lit that like there's nowhere to hide or anything? It's not like to that extent, but there's definitely a lot of lighting down there. And it's a lot of like pathways and bridges that cross from one end to another. There's rope rigging that people use to kind of move around. That's less prevalent as you go further down. So as you're looking down between the various buildings or kind of stone columns that rise up that people have chiseled homes and stuff into, you can see that there's very nice bridges. And then as you go higher up, those bridges get a little less well appointed, just more utilitarian. And at the highest levels, there's like ropes and little like wood bridges, etc. And so that's kind of how the city is laid out. This is the kind of place where someone like Panabon would never be caught by someone like Perunia. like just
Weird how you set that up, but like sure.
Well, I'm just like it's a place for like small people that are really squirrely to be able to cross over places where Perunia would have to like run around for sure.
It's like Discovery Zone if it were a city.
Yes.
Discovery Zone.
Discovery Zone if it were a city.
For those of you under 30.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no feels.
Wait, what?
Discovery Zone doesn't exist anymore.
What?
No.
What are you talking about?
It closed in 1999. It actually is a 90s kids thing.
Yeah.
So Discovery Zone was like a place for older kids to do a lot of like gymnastics. Like they had like really small zip lines and lots of tunnels and slides and stuff. So like I'm picturing a lot of like parkour and a lot of bouldering and a lot of jumping and yeah, have a good time. We're gonna have a good time in this city. It'll be good times. I just wanted to know if there were shadows. I got so much information out of that. I'm so delighted.
Yes. Well, I do want to kind of describe how the city is, because it is a very strange and different city. And you don't go that far down, so you're definitely at a part where there's definitely plenty of light. I mean, there's even a lot of places where the sunlight literally shafts into the level that you're on. And so there are places where the light is shining. And you could see that there's places where businesses and other storefronts kind of are banking on that, like that the warmth of the sun is going to highlight their storefront at a certain point of the day, etc. yeah, it's a fairly interesting setup for a city, especially one that is the capital. And there's definitely a lot of engineering feats that are set up so that they can move stuff from one point to another quickly throughout. And as you are descending, is there anything else you're looking for?
Bathhouse for sure. I realize that we've got plans tonight, but I do want to scope a couple out so like we can like hit them tomorrow or the next day. Like it just, you know.
And I'm looking for guild markings to see what guilds are up on this level of the city.
Go ahead and make a perception test.
I wish I could do anything but perception, but okay.
Right now, it's a little busy. There's just a lot going on, a lot of people moving to and fro, and not having your bearings quite yet on where they might set some of the markings. You know, it's just probably going to take you a little bit before you find what you're looking for.
Or
And
they'll find
each
me,
city's,
and it'll be fine.
or they'll find you and it'll be fine. But yes, each city is you know, like every city, the signs are just a little bit different. Like you can read them, but sometimes it takes a minute to discern them out of the other patterns that you find. So
I want to look at something too. Wait, I guess we all do. I'd like to just look for any place that's like sending mail or like a missive or something like internationally. I don't really need to go.
Credit union.
Basically, like whatever I can see that's international and traveling. Preferably, if I see Istapner as like one of the places, that would be great. But
all right, so with that, I am going to I got to find the actual name for it. But basically, the money changers of Vaishan, they are a global network, and the way that they work, because they don't send money anywhere ever. It's all promissory notes. And so basically the idea is that you can either get a promissory note from them with their stamp, and then you can take that to any other one anywhere else and get a return on that money. Or if you need to like wire money across the world, they're kind of the people to do it with.
Okay.
So and their offices they have offices kind of throughout, and they are a very, very powerful guild.
Awesome.
So
Good
no one tends to mess with them.
I'll need to make some new friends.
I would like to know where the post office is too, because I plan on writing another letter to my family and seeing if they've maybe sent anything. And then also, I'm going to be looking for a very specific item in the markets that I have heard tale of. And that is a bag of holding, because as we're unloading the camels and I realize that I want all of the books that we are finding, that's a lot to carry, and I'm a gnome, so I'm shopping for a very specific magic item.
We got a lot of stuff. We're definitely getting noticed by some thieves, I'm sure.
What tales of bags of holding have we heard?
I don't know. As we've been researching things, I mean, this has got to be a thing that like has come up for like, hey, it's much easier to move house with.
Oh, if you think about like a carpet bag, this is steampunk, and she's like from that island would have had carpet bags, right? With the magic Mary Poppins style. Like I feel like this belongs in this world.
Then an appropriate style bag, Danny, that I can try to experiment and make it myself.
Or a sad hand truck with a box on. With a box on.
At first I was
I'm very interested to watch you try to make a bag of holding.
Well, because so first of all, there is a class that can make bags of holding.
Yeah.
Second of all, there is at first I was like, man, I need like a trunk or something to start carrying all the crap I have, because like carrying all these books and all this stuff.
Very Pratchett about that, yeah.
But a trunk is still going to be a lot to carry, so.
and truck of carting. Just
And truck
you
of
just
cars.
load like
Especially in the sand. That would suck.
Not with the right type of wheels. A lot of stuff, Danny. A lot of stuff.
That's I mean, you can look for somebody, but the idea of like a magic shop is fairly unknown at this point. It's just
I mean, there was Auntie's that had a lot of stuff.
there was Auntie's, which is weird.
Well, I don't know. I've been only on the road for like 4 months, so like,
yeah,
About
maybe.
time I got my magic item.
Well, like, no, it's more like I haven't traveled that extensively I mean, it took us a month to get here. So like I haven't seen that much of big cities yet to know what they would have.
Well, there's like no magic shop in like the Desarin. And it's just because magic hasn't been around long enough for there to be a proliferation of magic items for people to sell.
So I have a thought and a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
A thought is potentially we could find a gnomish shop because gnomes have to carry a lot of stuff sometimes. So maybe there's like a gnome thing you can think of.
There are contraptions, yes.
There are always contraptions. The second one is there any graffiti? Do I notice any graffiti or on the walls of any kind, like either chiseled in or painted in? Or is it like a fairly clean space?
You have not noticed anything that calls a great amount of attention to itself. You do. I mean, there's places where there's definitely like markings, but it's hard to say right now if those are markings that are official, like go this way for this sort of thing, or if it's like someone tagging and saying like, Joe's a big dumb head or something, right? Like it's because you don't read Shawnee.
Every now and then, where I see something like that, I'd like to go and put an ink eyeball in the style of Auntie's eyeball, because I promised that for Rosalia to be able to find us. So I'm just going to start putting eyeballs in random places around the city.
So
discreetly, not like
no, it's cool. It's cool. I'm fine with it. I just want it to be said if she turns out to be the big bad guy at the end of this, and we've just been giving her, foresight into every place that we
awesome.
go.
I mean, like, let's kind of make that happen. Can we make her evil just to make that happen?
Oh. Anyway, there's going to be eyeballs in the city when Panabon is done. That's
nice.
important. No.
I am pleased that Auntie has settled into your hearts, one way or another. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, you do that. I was just thinking how like Panabon is kind of co-opting things into their personality, like Melfrune. Okay, wait, Mipoe. All right, the eye thing. Like, it's all just becoming, like, Panabon's kind of stuff.
To be fair, everything about Melfrune that Panabon does is, like, sarcastic with, like, an overtone. It's not even, like, an undertone of sarcasm.
Right.
Although the alto voice on the hymns is quite nice. Like, just so
The hymns, though, they're legit.
The hymns are real. I said it was hymn 300, what is it? Hymn 342. So there are 341 other hymns to work on, so...
The thing about this is that now there are that many hymns to work on.
I know. I'm very excited.
And translate into Draconic.
Oh, I didn't think that through. It's fine. So about that twisted knife place that we're going to.
Right. So you definitely head, just like I said, a couple of levels down and enter this tavern. It is the Twisted Banner, which is Ostekonk Nesta in Ashani. There will be a quiz.
Which I'm going to fail.
And as you enter it, it's late afternoon, and there's definitely a lot of people already there. You take a quick scan around, and you don't necessarily notice where TSK might be. But given his vocation, it's possible that he's waiting for you to arrive before he comes in. So
Lame. I'm gonna go and see if I can get a room, because I am very interested in a shower. And if we're not going to the bathhouse, I still want to get the dust off.
So you're approaching the tap.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Danny froze.
Oh no.
Well, I find my bag of holding in the meantime.
Oh
And-
yeah, we have a bag of holding.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I take a shower.
Yeah.
I am able to go home and save everyone. So there you
Yay!
Damn, that's a
I'm
quick
gonna,
trip.
I'm gonna stab like 4 people in the bar and then go find things places and stab them. How much stabbing is gonna happen?
Oh my
go.
god.
Oh,
he's
we
gonna
just
get
got
back.
kicked out of
Oh yeah, he
Unity.
lost internet. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
All right. Well, now that we've solved the whole of this adventure, what will we do next?
I know, right?
Don't forget that we have an awesome Kickstarter coming in January for issue 2 of Coddlesworth's Clockwork Circus. By the way, Danny, looks like you're back, and we've already beat the game. I got my bag of holding. Roland saved all his family and friends. Panabon lived stabbily ever after, and Perunia got a bath. So,
Also, for anyone watching this live that would like specific numbered hymns for Melfrune, let me know what numbers you like and kind of the context, and I'll start composing some hymns to Melfrune. Like, I don't mind. It's like anything under 342, because that's the hymn that Panabon wrote. So
it's the last one.
We're not doing
that
any more than
works.
but there's more after, but like because Panabon wrote it, it's obviously the important one to them. So it's really the only one that matters currently. I'm happy to compose more if someone has like odes to Melfrune they'd like,
No, nobody wants that.
I
Yeah,
think
just
I think we're
anyway.
all over it.
I go up to the innkeeper or the barkeep and ask for a room and let her know that I won't need it overnight. Or just wanted to get some water and wash up.
If you are looking for washing up, there is. You don't have to get a room. You can just
connection to server.
you can just pay for the ability to use the washroom that they have. They don't necessarily have. I mean, if you want a full on bath, it's going to be bathhouses. But if you want like a washroom where you can kind of clean off, yeah, that's not something that they necessarily have in each of the taverns or the places, because it's definitely something where folks go to either a bathhouse or they find a place where they can just like run water over themselves in the streets, right? And it's like when you're at the beach and there's like a shower like at the beach, and it's just like you just go under it and rinse yourself off. Like that's located kind of throughout a few places.
So I'm not gonna lie,
at the top level.
That's how Locks probably bathes a lot, just because he's a cowboy.
I'll go ahead and take the pay her to use the washroom and wash off.
Okay, yeah, she just takes a few copper from you in order to make use of that. The rest of you?
I'm sorry, I just had one of those moments where I zoned out for a second and tried to like invent indoor plumbing, but then imagine like what I would name it, and like I thought of like you know how you see in TV shows where someone looks around the room and goes like indoor plumbing shit. So that just happened in my head.
I feel like steampunk lends itself really well to indoor plumbing. Like the copper vibe is a real thing. I would say right now, for me, if y'all can see and hear Danny, I cannot. So let me know if there's something that pertains to Panabon. Otherwise, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
You can't see or hear me?
Here. I can.
I can.
Bandwidth issue, probably. Oh, no. Well, I mean, now he disappeared. I think Danny said, you know what? We need to turn it off and on again, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes.
Let us begin the tale
Welcome
of
back.
Sarude's sandstorm.
Is that better, John?
Do.
Nope. Now I think John's the problem because
I think John might have to log off and back
yeah.
Am I the problem? I mean, I usually am.
Tell you what, everyone.
Am I the drama?
Tell you what, we're gonna run to our break screen real quick and try to fix these issues so we can get back to the story for you guys. So we'll be right back. Doop, pushing the button. All right, all of our problems we think are solved. So when we left off, Shaylun found a bag of holding.
Yes, but then Panabon put a permanent dimensional hole inside of it and destroyed the world.
I like stabbing. What can I say? You can't.
That sounds like pretty on par for their character.
Yeah. You can't change the Jaguar response.
I put Panabon in the bag of holding and seal it.
Aww.
There's no bag of it is all in your mind.
Like being home.
I'm just going to call all bags of holding now. So it's like my bags of holding groceries. And
that's what they do. Like this is a bag of holding. It holds dice.
Bag of holding dice.
All bags of holding. All right. So, yeah. Perunia goes in the back to kind of wash up. And what was everyone else doing?
I'm going to go wash up because, I mean, I don't like to smell, but...
I mean, for the trip across the desert, you did learn, those of you who didn't know, how people keep clean.
Oh, no, Lox knows how to do that. Lox is probably more well-versed than Randy is, for sure. But,
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to not have to take a smoke bath.
Yeah. So, he's going to still go and get washed up because... hygiene.
Right. Anyone else?
After walking quickly through you know what? After unloading the camels and doing the magic things and stuff like that, I think washing up and resting after being on camels for 2 weeks would be really nice.
Right. All right. Well, is everybody going into the washroom then for that? For washing?
I'm actually observing patrons, because I want to start understanding the habits and frequencies of the Geoladians. Gioladatis?
Laluti.
No, I think we're looking for the
Galician.
adjective of the people from.
Oh,
Of the people that live there.
I guess they'd be Gialalutions.
Oh,
Illusions.
there we
That's
go.
somehow harder to say. But yes, I would like to begin to understand the peoples that live in Giolati.
I don't believe in geolution.
Oh, too soon.
Yeah, I heard he was a dream eater. Or
It was Gialalutions. Anyway, would you like to, as you're kind of keeping an eye on things, would you like to, I don't know, play cards or do anything active while you're there?
I'm actually keeping an eye out for Brunia's paramour, the dragonborn whose name I dare not speak of. Like, seeing if they're scoping out the place, seeing if they're friends or comrades, or they're like lying in wait for Zivid or Perunia. Like, I'm getting the lay of the land, but I'm like also actively always looking for other thieves, because you never know. And because I know now the Inquisition is on our tail, anytime I see an Inquisitor, I'll be like, ding, kind of thing.
Yeah, did we bring Zivid here with us? Because that seems like very dangerous. We're real smart guys.
You did bring Zivid with you. There was nowhere else really for Zivid to go.
The lodge.
I had like 2 opportunities to stab Zivid. I had an opportunity to get him to run away, and y'all were like, no, we have to have Zivid with us.
Well, no, because I'm sorry. I assumed that I was taking my shower at the lodge that we are staying in. So I assumed.
No, we're not at the lodge yet.
Well, maybe. Oh, wait, we're not
We're
there
Twisted
yet.
Banner.
no, we haven't been
Twisted
introduced
Banner.
to the lodge, so I don't think we can sit and Zivid there. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
All right, into the washroom he goes.
Then I'm not
Make
washing up here.
Make a perception test there, Panabon, for Panabon.
Oh, okay. These dice be nice to me with my perception. I wish to perceive so much.
Ooh.
I perceive everything.
So you do notice, as you're looking, and then you may kind of check out across the street, you do see a hooded figure, robed and hooded figure, across kind of in an alcove. They're not so much watching the tavern, but you can tell that they're kind of looking up and down the street as if they're checking to see if somebody is heading towards the tavern itself.
I'm just checking to see if someone's heading toward the tavern itself.
Thank you for that. That actually hardens me to know there are thieves here, which means there's it hardens me to know my people are here, the fellow thieves of the world.
You're pretty sure that that's not necessarily a thief, but someone who is heading in towards the tavern itself.
Oh, they're not okay. They're not casing the joint. They're actually
They're not casing the joint.
Bad. Okay. Well, that's okay though. Hooded figures are always good. I know that people do that here, which is great to know. Yeah.
My perception, Danny, is for the lay of the washroom to make sure I'm not about to walk Zivid into a room full of Dragonborn Inquisitioners.
Yes, you managed to get Zivid into the washroom where nobody is lying in wait.
Thank you.
And you are able to get him to a position in the washroom where he can wash up and still be able to see the rest of the washroom.
Okay, Zivid, I wonder if you just shouldn't hang out here for a while. You know, there looks like a stall area over there. I think you'll be very comfortable.
Am I really dirty? Should I?
No, you, my dear Zivid, are in a lot of danger of being arrested. And I like you, Zivid, but I don't really want to break you out of jail.
Why am I going to be arrested? I didn't do anything.
I know you.
Crimes.
I know, Zivid, but
I didn't kill Zivid.
Let me tell you about
wasn't that a
Dragonborns. Let me tell you about Dragonborn Inquisitioners. They don't care if you're guilty. They will just arrest you and they will hold you without trial for a very long time.
But I'm not a dragon.
Guess what? They don't care. They're not nice people.
When did they stop?
You just said all Dragon Ball, the Inquisition is all bad people, all of them.
Perunia feels all the Inquisitioners are pretty bad people.
I mean, no, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying it's just funny.
Yes. It's pretty much that is an attitude that is had towards the Inquisition. When has an Inquisition not been looked upon nicely by those who are under its oppressive yoke? Yes. And so he acquiesces to stay, and then as Panamon's watching across the way, the hooded figure then kind of strolls up, apparently satisfied that nobody else is following down towards the tavern, and enters into the tavern, pulls the hood down, and it is Teske from Pliero, the Dark Claw. And Inquisitor upon who the jury's still out, probably. Entering into the tavern. Do you make yourself known there, small Panabon?
No, you remember how Panabon was standing behind Perunia in the entrance to the Sea Hag's whirlpool thing after they found the room of treasure that they did not take a lot from? So it's like that, but like 2 steps back. And anytime Teske might look over their shoulder, Panabon will just kind of scoot out of their line of sight, because dragon eyes are great for finding blind spot ins. Not that Panabon would know that for any particular reason. But Panabon is very intent on eavesdropping in this conversation and not being known as much as is possible.
Okay. So
I'm pulling a Strider at one of the other tables with a hood up and just like being quiet.
Oh my God.
By myself.
I thought you were in the washroom.
Zibit's now in there. I've already finished apparently.
Is your large cowboy hat on top of or under your hood?
Under.
Okay.
Why are all these people trying to
More
be
like
stealthy?
his, like a shawl. It's like wrapped around his.
We're so bad at this. We're all gonna die.
And imagine Shayloon is just kind of sitting next to Locke's like, why are you doing that?
Like, yeah, I just look around at everyone being kind of stupid and look back to my book and just shake my head.
I go, you've obviously not seen the Ishtapanuri ways of being sneaky.
They work really well.
Literally
and so,
can cast invisibility. Literally.
Teske heads over towards the table and nods. So glad to see you're safe. How was the trip?
Uneventful.
Well, good, I suppose. So probably wondering what I'm doing here. And the answer to that is, well, something really strange happened after you left.
Okay.
Well, do you remember the Inquisitor that was with me?
Hard to forget. He was he's an interesting character.
Yes. Inquisitors, right? They definitely take their business seriously. But anyway, after you guys left, well, Rajo and I, we worked with some other folks to kind of follow up on the thing. Turned out that either maybe another one came, or I don't know, but there was just this thing, and then we ended up having to fight this. I'm going to call it a monster. Really, it was some sort of kind of like the things that happened at the cemetery, the boneyard, that night. But this one was able to. It was able to like detach its hands and kind of fight, and I don't know. It was a really strange thing, and this is where it gets really weird. It had a meeting with the Inquisitor.
Oh, that's not good. How do you know this?
Like I said, we were dealing with the other issue, and I guess things that are dead are connected somehow. I don't know, but in a roundabout way, all of this kind of connected into each other. I don't think that the Inquisitor is connected to the Fae thing, but both that and the Inquisitor were connected to this hands creature. And that's how I figured it out. I was dealing with the one issue. I followed this thing, and that's when I discovered it was speaking to the Inquisitor about what I wasn't sure.
I mean, in one sense, I've got to be honest. I'm a little hesitant to trust you. I mean, why come forward with this to us? I mean, sure, we got along well, we fought well together, but like, this feels like if somebody were going to try to set us up, this is how they might do it. We've seen a lot of weird stuff, been involved in a couple things. How do we know we can trust you?
Well, what I'm going to tell you is going to pan out, or it's not.
Okay.
So, all right. So now I don't trust the Inquisitor, right?
Smart. Yeah.
And the Inquisitor is transferred here to Gialaludi.
Okay. Okay.
And given a larger contingent of Dark Claws.
Shit. Okay.
And they are to work with this fellow, Rosiso. Rosiso, I think is his name. He's a scholar, one of the scholars. And of course,
You
in
the guy
Vaishan,
at the caravan that we saw?
yes, the fellow with yes. So he's one of the scholars, and the scholars of Vaishan, as a reminder, are the sort of wizard guild or wizard organization that exists in Vaishan, but they're all kind of separate. So, like Raho was a scholar, supposedly Chetra in Susum was a scholar. So, he says he's a scholar, and Miskro is working with him. And they were waiting for someone that was coming in from the Restless Wind, which was your caravan.
Ooh. Okay.
And I don't know necessarily that you are mixed up in what's going on with them, but I do think that you're capable enough to maybe help me look into it.
Okay, let's say that we trust you enough for this. I don't think that we're ready to share information both ways yet. But I think, and I look around at the group, we're interested in learning more. And I think anything that goes against deadomancy, we're pretty much against. So, or I should say anything that deadomancy's for, we're against. Yeah, that way.
Dead. Okay. I think I'm tracking.
Dead people coming back to life.
Right. Yes. Fairly averse to that, insofar as we've seen it. So I'm not sure what they're up to or what they're waiting for. A lot of what they're talking about didn't really make a lot of sense. But
okay, just try us. What didn't make a lot of sense?
So it seems like they've managed to tap into something dealing with like ancient beliefs before even our time on the planet in our history. And of course, Perunia knows he's referring to the fact that the Dragonborn
history
came to the planet like only several hundred years ago. And so they've kind of built up a cult around this. And there's something here that pertains to that, and they're trying to get to it. I don't know if it's maybe some sort of artifact, maybe with the return of magic. You know that you might not know. The church has several vaults of ancestral heirlooms that were, of course, potent magical items before we came here and have been inert ever since. But I can only imagine with the return of magic, maybe they
want to jumpstart them. Huh.
That, or maybe they've already regained some of their magical powers, the powers that they lost. Make an insight check.
Yes.
Anyone.
And I do a perception check actually around the bar to see if somebody has like a bead on the guy, the dragon. Yeah.
Perunia, you do see that his eyes just flick towards the bracer that Panamon is wearing as he says that, and then back to you. It's not like a hidden thing. It's not like he's trying to hide it. You just, as he's saying that, notices it, and then looks back to you.
Okay, so if you're saying you don't know their next move, I would say you should probably hang out with us, because if I were them, we're their next move.
Maybe. No.
And I look at him. No. We're their next move.
Understood. My maybe is more to the point of it's probably best not to alert Miskro that I'm here at all as well.
So are we going to find you like lurking over our shoulder then a whole bunch? Because that's just going to be super awkward.
I'll try to.
Can you let us know when you're following us? Because I don't know how comfortable I am with this. Yeah.
So
you're on mute, Lax.
I look over at Panabon and I go, Panabon, did you see them when they were trying to watch us earlier this evening?
By them? Who do you mean?
You did. I'm just good.
I saw them enter the bar. I was very proud of the hood. Also off on your hood.
Yes, that's not what I meant, but okay, if that's what we're sharing.
In any case, I'll not sneak up on you.
Well, otherwise,
you probably couldn't.
You'll get punched in the face again. So anyway.
Right.
What about if
You're quite strong, by the way.
I know.
if I put Minya back in an object? Maybe Minya can let us know when you're close.
Minya?
That's our death parakeet. And if anything bad happens, the death parakeet will attack you. Be warned.
It's a long story. It's a thing.
Death
It can see
parakeet.
stuff.
I understand. No, I'll let you know. I don't intend to surprise you. And in the meantime, if there's some way that we can figure out what's going on, maybe there's information in the Inquisition Hall here itself, or in probably more dangerous, checking into the Scholars' Quarters where he stays. But there is something else.
I wiggle my
There is-
brows at Lachlan at the word scholars' quarters. Like,
Wiggles eyebrows back.
They have been sending a few of the Dark Claws down to the lowest levels where the water pumps and the turbines are. The city, so the delta underneath, the way they power the entire city is the water moves through the delta below. That's where they've set up turbines to
Someone poisoned the water hole.
I
had to. Sorry. I could not.
Okay, but Tiske, for real though, if you were trying to lead us into a trap, going down at the very bottom of the city is exactly where you would tell us to go. So forgive us if we're not like jumping down to get down there.
I'm just stating kind of where the information might be, or maybe if you guys can grab someone on the street. However you want to do it, I am out of my depth here, and I cannot look down my nose at anything that you are doing, short of just wanton murder, I suppose. I think that would probably bother.
Wanton.
why are you
You don't
looking at me
murder
when he
people.
said that?
I don't know what
Why
you're
are you
talking
looking at
about.
me when he said that? How dare you? Implication. Why I never.
So that's the information I have.
Well, likely we'll be staying at the lodge, which at least gives us some freedom of movement outside of the control of either the Vaishan or the Dragonborn. So if you want to find us, that's likely where we'll be.
I'm gonna telepathically tell Minya to sneak into his stuff. Like, keep an eye on him. Like,
Sure.
So proud of you. So proud.
All right. And so Minya is going to kind of trail the Dragonborn and see what the Dragonborn's up to. All right. Well, best of luck. I'll look for you at the lodge then if I discover anything more myself. And otherwise, I think I'll check in on you in the evening, around this time each day. And I'll look for a message or to find you at the lodge.
And remember, if you betray us, death parakeet.
We'll look forward to your visit, Tiske. We're good.
I'm not saying you have to be there or have anything for me. I'm just saying that in case there is something, never.
Yes,
Okay.
no, I got it. You're babysitting us. It's
Doesn't
right.
feel obtrusive at all.
yeah, not a little bit. That's for sure.
Have a good night. Watch your back. Stay safe. All
You
right.
too.
Thank
And
you.
then he gets up and heads out the door. Just as Nuwain appears serendipitously to kind of give you the yes nod, like cleared it with the lodge master. And so as you head to the lodge to actually stay and get comfortable and find a bathhouse, etc., that is where we're going to close session tonight. and appreciate all of you for joining me and playing. Appreciate everybody who has been watching us on the stream, and it's we'll see where we go with this next week. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason why we're not meeting next week, so we are meeting again next week, and we will see you.
It's been really cool to see how some of the stuff that's happening in the preludes and stuff like that is all kind of starting to happen, and that's neat.
Yes.
I mean, not for the dead people, but I mean,
but for us, it's great.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we'll see everybody next week, like clockwork. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.